Hey. Hey, sis. Trying to get my thing to stay up. It won't stay up. I guess I'm just going to take this off. My bad. My bad. My bad. I'm just going to leave it locked. I was trying to lift it up, but it's okay, I guess. Okay, girl. I'm telling you, this is deep, sis. This is deep. Got to be careful out here. Yeah, I can't wait though to be able to start with y'all for a second. Hold on, let me just over here. This is something else. But it's good to see you on the live. Let me pull this up. Clean this off. I forgot. Yeah. Hey, sis. What's good? Okay, it's good to see you too, sis. Hey, sis. How you and the baby doing? Oh gosh. Okay, let me put this back up. I forgot I had cut the laptop off. Hey sis, what's up, Zalika? What's going on, girl? How you doing? Jen. Yeah, excuse her. She in the background. Supposed to be taking a bath. We doing good, doing good. Been enjoying the snow while we can, but we've been doing all right. Hey sis, what's going on, Angel? Yes. Thank you. I got a time to kind of like do something with myself, you know. Got time. The snow is giving me time. So, why not? I ain't been able to dress up, do something to myself for a minute. Been working like, giving all my energy away. Just giving it all away. Peace, sis. How you doing? I was looking down there in the A, with Georgia. Oh, really? My condolences to you and your family. And this is definitely one of these lives, man. I'm telling you, whew, so much that I've gained like within a couple of days. But I have to discuss it with y'all so y'all to be able to, probably been on experienced it, didn't understand it. But this cosmic hand is so powerful. And in these hours of transitioning, mm, yeah. So, yeah. But my condolences is because I understand the transition. But everything transpires something different for some reason. But we going to get into it. we going to get into it because I'm going through a transition to myself. So you looking like the guy named Andy. Girl, okay. We be looking so masculine out here. What the fuck? Out here, this work, just doing, can't even do nothing for ourselves. Peace, Brink. How you doing? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, please sub if you have not subbed yet. If this is the channel for you. Okay? But yeah, y'all. I'ma go ahead and get started. Let me get this pulled up. But yeah, it's a lot of transition is taking place. And even if you haven't experienced one yet, or maybe lately, or, somewhat, you know, and when you do, you'll understand this transition a little bit more, because each time I go through a transition, I understand stuff a lot more, and I connect the dots a lot more. Dealing with the transition, and even with the transition of my own space, my own energy through those transitions. So this hand really stuck out to me a lot this time, and it's a very powerful um, symbolism in our world. The right hand, to be exact, it deals with a lot of receiving of energy, even with just a simple like handshake or just touching somebody, and how this energy just kind of transfer um, onto you, your energy into them. So just having just a little bit of that information. So like I said, I'm going through my own transition too. My grandma is, you know, in those days of transition, and we just trying to make it comfortable for her. Um, so, I understand how life transforms and stuff like that. But, this one time, I think I've done it before, but I can't even remember when. But, a lot of us sometimes, when those loved ones are in those spaces, like the hospital, stuff like that, you know, in the comfortability of their transition, sometimes we might, grip their hand. And I got to start it off like this so we can dive deep into what this cosmic hand energy is and the power it possesses just through the hand, the right hand, um, and all the symbolism that's used with the right hand in our journey in our world that symbolizes this power of the hand. Just connecting the dots to all of it and realizing how energy has been being transferred from one hand to the next. The connection of all. Y'all remember, I appreciate this, sis. I appreciate that for real. Y'all remember in the movie Us, how they was all tethered together, hand by hand. Yeah, that was really a powerful symbolism. Um, and of course, I see it different today because of my own experience and understanding the power of the hand. Um, but a lot of us like to tend to, hold hands with those in their transition, while they're laying in the bed or whatever that may be. Um, Even if they're, just sitting in a chair or whatever in the space, but we tend to hold their hand through this process, um, for comfort, for connection, especially. And with this connection, sometimes, some people might be aware of it, some people might not, but there is a force of energy there that is transitioning through hand to hand. Okay. So as I was, holding my grandma's hand, holding it, realized she got a real good grip on my hand, to be exact, like really good grip. And, even though she's supposed to be so weak and she's in pain, but she had a real good grip on my hand. And I'm like, okay, this is really tight. My hand went numb through that grip. After a period of time, my hand was going numb. I was telling my sister about it. She was like, yeah, I felt what you was talking about, how much of her grip was. And my hand went numb. Yeah, so I really didn't put no mind into it. Y'all, hold on for 1 second. Jen back there just a screaming. But hey Brink, I'm glad you back. But so I didn't pay no attention to it. I just realized it. I just thought maybe it was just a grip, and that's why my hand was so numb. But I tell you, y'all, my hand was still numb for like a day and a half. Like it was numb. It had a pain in it. And I'm like, what in the world? Why is my hand so numb? Why is it hurting so bad? Like, I didn't understand, like, some arthritis type of, shit. Like, what the heck is going on? So, I'm diving. I'm thinking, like, I'm trying to figure out what the hell could this be about, and spiritually, what the hell is going on? Like, why is my hand in so much pain? And why is it so much tension? And why is it so much numbness in my hand? And then, it comes to me. Those are like attributes, those are roots, in my foundation. All right. Those are feelings, motions in my foundation. Okay. And my grandma is symbolic to our monarch. She's the head of the house, you know. So, and she's my last blood grandparent. So, like, that energy alone, I felt like at that moment when I was holding my grandma, I realized I had to rethink the things through the motion of why my hand was numb. I'm trying to figure out why is there so much tension and all of that. So I got to thinking about the stuff that I was saying to my grandma during the process of me holding her hand. And when I was holding her hand, I was telling her, whatever you need to pull for me, pull for me. If you want to fight, whatever you need to give me, all right, whatever you need to give me, so I can see, so I can, I guess deal with it or understand or whatever, be open, whatever you need to do so I can get rid of it. Okay? Because I understand the force of energy among us and how we can give and take among each other. So when I was holding her hand, that's what I was saying. And I was, saying it to her, but it wasn't from the physical mouth, of course. All right, it's telepathically through the mind. All right, so Once that happened, I said that that's when that grip really got really tight. That's when my hand really got numb. And she wouldn't really, it wasn't the fact that she wouldn't let my hand go. It was the fact that it was like the connection to break apart was hard. Because when I was trying to take my hand away from her, of course you would say like, damn, she don't want to let go. Um, but I feel like it was more than just her not wanting to let go. It was more than um the connection, you know. Hard to pull the connection apart, especially with what I was gaining through this process that I didn't realize what I was gaining at the time. But I know now what I was gaining. Oh, let me light my candle for this one. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know what I was gaining at this time. So once I once I got that understanding of what was transpiring and why my hand was numb and stuff like that, because of the energy transfer. Um, both ways, not just just not just me into her, but just both ways, you know. But I know I'm stronger to take whatever it is and banish it or get rid of it, because of the energy I've evolved into. So it would not disturb me, because I'm the type of person that would learn from stuff and grow from it, even in its darkest moments. Like, so, yeah. So when I realized what was going on, I started researching, and I wanted to know, what does this deal with spiritually? When someone's in a transitioning, and whether we're in their space, we're holding a hand, okay? Because even just touching this person through that process is still energy transfer, okay? And we're still going to feel the transition, not only spiritually, but physically as well. That's why grief comes into play. You know, Grief is supposed to be a cleansing, it's supposed to be a relief. But a lot of people use grief to hold on to, the what ifs, or, you know, not the change, just the past. So there's the up and downs to grief, but it's supposed to mold you. It's supposed to evolve you. It's supposed to give you more wisdom. It's supposed to give you more awareness. Even when you come into contact with other people, okay? Like on a daily, or, when you go out and you mingle, you connecting with people. There's going to be a physical touch. This energy transfers, okay? And it can transfer in high vibrations, low vibrations. The longer you be around this person, or that person, the stronger the energy transfer can become. So with family members, that's why we feel it a lot more stronger, because these are people or energy that has been in our space over a period of time. Okay. So the grip of letting go of that transferring energy will become a lot more stronger and harder to um, let go of, or, release. Which one is it? Okay. I found a lot of things dealing with the hands that I used to do a while ago too. You know, those who, been around for a while and been watching me for a minute. When I'm my early YouTube video, well, not YouTube, but just videos, I was doing, I would clap my hand a lot during my lives. And even that has a significance when it comes to the vibrations and the energy reciprocated from our hands. Um, the alertness that you can gain, the awareness, getting one to tap in, all of this, just dealing with the hands, getting one's attention. Okay, hold up. I think I'm too far away. Okay, yeah, I think I'm too far from where I'm supposed to be at. Okay. For one, hands or portals, for one thing that I definitely agree with from what I, was tapping into, because that direct connection of touch to someone can automatically transfer or tra- um transfer or connect you to that person. But as I was feeling this energy, right, okay, in my hand, I got to looking for stuff and ways of, connecting it with spirituality, or, just what is this symbolically meaning and stuff. And I really felt like it was a force of energy that needed to be released out of my hand, because there was nothing no pain medicine was doing. Hold on, y'all. Jenny. But yeah, she just doing her own little thing in this tub, and she too loud. But I feel like it was a force of energy in my hand that needed to be released, because it was just so much tension and so much numbness in it, and I just felt like it was some deep rooted energy. You know what I'm saying? So I just automatically went into a trance of, a person would, say a ritual, but automatically releasing, doing certain hand movements and speaking immediately, not by mouth, with thought, and, releasing whatever it is, okay, into a space of unformedness, unseen, because I feel like this energy is a type of energy that is generational, that is a curse, okay? Like, that is an old cycle that needs to be destroyed. Girl, she in there doing too much. In the tub. Honey. But yeah, so I feel like, I needed to release this, and, Spirit was guiding me to, what to say and how to do it and what to do with my hands, and rubbing against, the palms together and saying, certain chants to release this energy. Okay? Now, I know a lot of y'all might not, or probably do agree, but a lot of these great elders, hold a lot of old ways that did not elevate us. Okay? And I'm not trying to bash them or, speak ill of them, but it's just the flat out truth. A lot of them do not have the information or the wisdom or the awareness, okay, to be passed down, okay? So it didn't elevate us in a way. Now we became aware of certain things in our environment. But when it came to this whole existence, this existence as a whole, and understanding who we are as a being, we didn't have that information. Okay? But there's always a con to something that's going to be a pro. So I don't blame them for that era. We had to collect a lot of shit to get to this point. Basically, collecting all of the trash, all of the old ways, all of old programs, data. Okay. All right. Nothing that elevated us. We had to collect all of that just so we can get rid of it. All right. All right. Thank you, sis. We had to get rid of it. Okay. So, and me at an early age was a palm reader. And now I understand why palm reading was my first thing that I ever done as a child, because the power of the palm is so powerful. It's a direct connection, all right, to the soul, to the heart, okay? So you can read a person just off of the energy of touch, of just off the right hand, all right? And they knew this biblically, you know? They knew this biblically, all right? But yeah, our hands are portals, okay? And when it comes to the concept of the palms acting as an energetic, spiritual, or communicative gateway for transmitting power, healing, and information. All of the stuff that I was gaining just by holding my grandma's hand. In a transition, though. During a transition, the portals are open, the gates are open. Okay? There's a transfer of energy taking place. All right? At one's weakest moments. All right? But just all of this being transmitted, okay? All right? There's energy centers on our palms, okay? And then the spiritual connection, placing the palms over your heart chakra is believed to help connect with the internal and external energies. When we do this, what does this symbolizes? We was taught this in school. All right. Placing your palm over the heart chakra is believed to help connect with the internal and external energies. When we was at school and we was doing the Pledge of Allegiance, all right, this is what was transmitting, all right, through the words of the pledge. hmm And it also kept you bounded. all right, in the flesh, all right, all just by the power of the hand, okay? Your palms and directly energy centers, okay? I was just about to ask you, do you feel energy or have energy come from your hands? For example, holding your hands up facing each other. Yes, even when I push my hands, when you push your hands out like that directly in front of you, you can feel the force of energy generating through your arm, through to your hands. All right. Of course, some people might think, well, that's the weight of our hand. I mean, our arms, or, we just feeling the weight of our arms, or, we just feeling basically the weight of our arms. When in reality, the weight is your energy. Working with your hands is powerful. Like, I mean, you can do so much just by touch. And you can see into other people just by touch. Now, I'm not saying I ain't never touched my grandma, never hugged her because I have. But even through a transition, it is far more powerful because it's like you gaining everything from the root. All right? Especially when it's a direct connection of a family member so close, just like that. All right? But our hands are so powerful. This is why creativity is a high frequency, because not only are you mentally using your mind, all right, your consciousness, your craft, okay, you are using your hands physically. And through the power of the mind and to the possession of your hands, you create your craft. Right. Fat, since I stopped making jewelry, I don't feel it as much anymore. Hands are healing. Right. Right. Hands are healing. That's why they want to touch you on church. In church, that's why they would touch us on our forehead. You know? All right? It's all about the power, possession in the hand, the cosmic energy, force from your hands. And it actually, it pulls people in, it's like a form of attaching you, just like how frogs are, reptilians, or what I would say, and how their grip on their palms or on their feet or whatever, where they can climb up the wall and stuff like that. That's just how it is. Like, we're electromagnetic beings anyway. So not only is your hands powerful, but your feet is just as powerful as well. All right. Your feet is going to let you know what's grounded and what's not. Okay. And your hands is damn near your real eyes. Okay, y'all, the Hamza. So, it has this form of energy that it really, I just realized, just through that experience, like, damn. And once I released it through the chant, through the motion of my hands, um, through doing the power, the releasing of my hands, the motions. Okay, because motion is everything. Once I began to do that, everything started to shift away. Everything started to. It's like that weight had lifted up off of me, off of my hands. So I don't have the tension today. I don't have the ache today. My hand is not numb, you know. So that also gave me confirmation of what I was experiencing. Not only was I feeling it physically, but spiritually, this is what was taking place in the roots and the foundations of my family, and that connection to that ancestor or that elder of mine. Okay, all right, gave me the direct connection to those roots, and things that needed to be thrown out. All right. Almost like, a surrender of, even her just coming to an enlightenment in her own transition and realizing all of this weight that she was carrying, you know, and how it generated through her family, her creations. And it's almost like, a surrendering moment of, yeah, take all of this and dismantle it. All right. All of you have a certain purpose in your journey, in your families. All right. It's no reason. It's not by coincidence you a mirror. All right. It's not by coincidence you take on a lot of shit that most people don't. All right. They might not even check up on you as much. You know. And it's not by default. It's not by, you know, and no ill intention. It's just because they know that your energy and the force that you have within you is solid, and it's different. It's the change. Um, it's gonna be the one that's gonna shake some shit up. The one that's gonna, you know, destroy the old bloodline in a sense. Because what you bring is something new. It's something different. So a lot of you will handle, transitions a lot different because you understand it. Like I told them, I told my sister I've kind of already grieved my grandma before already because we already knew what it was. So there's no point of to continue to grieve it. I grieve what I needed to grieve, but it's still holding the breath in a sense because now we're in the stage of like we don't know when, but we know it's coming. And we just really waiting to exhale. Um, and it's not even a bad thing. It's just actually something that we need, to fully release this energy. So yeah, it's just made me realize, how sensitive the touch can be, and you have to be very aware of who touch you. Like even when we've said shit about, people, I don't let certain people touch my hair. Like no, because your energy through your hand, through the grip, lets me know how much your energy is turned the fuck up. It lets me know if you're in a certain mindset. Like I can tell if you're agitated or irritated, and it has nothing to do with the person, me or in a sense, but I just know that by your sense of touch in my hair and the way you're doing it a certain way lets me know that your energy is off and something is going on mentally. This is why you're projecting it physically through the hands. And yeah, I can't. Okay, I'll catch you on a good day. I'm gonna catch you on a good day. We could do this on another day, baby. So it's it just shows, how powerful the hand really is, man. If you just sit back and think about all these things that we've just encountered in our journey and just connect the dots to it, you'd be like, yeah, it's like that. It's like that, It's like that. Now, in certain cultures, they say this is the right hand of God. Yeah. And we've seen this in images, multiple images. We've discussed it before. Exactly. It's the same thing I be saying that. Okay, let me just reschedule. Get your energy right. Because no. I don't need it up in my scalp, which is close to my consciousness. So, no, I don't need it in my space, baby. Mm-mm. No, we ain't doing it. Yeah, so I became picky. I won't do it, honey. I'll catch you on a good day. But in certain religions, Christianity to be exact, um, it is called the right hand of God, and it means power, salvation, divine authority, also an evil inclination, okay, which is linked to the left. And the reason I see with the evil inclination linked to the left is because your left hand pulls out. It pulls everything out, okay? All right. So when I was doing this yesterday, okay, this is what this hand carried, the energy, the force of energy, okay, from the connection from the elder, right? So when I put the palm to palm together, this hand was pulling it out, the left, pulling it out, okay, from the right. And once I felt like that was easing it up, that's when I went like that to completely, get rid of it. But I can understand the left, being symbolic to evil inclination because it's linked to the left, because the left is definitely going to be what's going to pull out, um, dealing with this energy that you're holding, okay, in this hand, this right hand, which they say is the right hand of God. All right. In Hindu, the right hand is associated with action, creation, purity, also used for rituals and giving. All right. Freemasonry is a symbol of fidelity, truth, and ancient rites. Okay. All right. The positive symbolism of the right hand often led to suspicion of negative views of left-handedness in history, as it is seen as the weaker or lesser capable side, though it is changing. Most people are saying the left hands are more powerful than the right hand, and I can understand the lefties being powerful than the righties because the left hand is pulling the energy out, okay, when the right hand is simply projecting it. Okay, so there's a lot of energy being used, and your hand can become this hand can become the less weaker. All right, because also, it being symbolic to the right hand of God, it's in a sense of what you're generating, okay, whether you're gaining it or generating it, all right, into your space just by touch, okay, all right. I was doing a reading yesterday, and the energy that I was connecting to was like, deal from your left hand because your right hand is still releasing, all right. So that also was like, I was like, okay, that makes sense, I guess. But, so it's just kind of, giving me a little confirmation of that experience to y'all. But the right hand definitely is so symbolic into a lot of things that we have seen in our journey. So I'm going to show a couple pictures right quick. This one is one of them. Right hand to right hand. The cosmic connection. Okay. All right. I'm trying to figure out where I'm at. All right. Yeah, we got the Jesus symbol, the image. Right hand up, left to the heart. Yeah, okay. But the right hand is very symbolic. This is why it's up. Okay. Do I have another one? Hold up. Let me find another one right quick. I just have y'all looking at everything. But the hand is so symbolic to our existence. It's very energizing or shifting to one's motion or energy, space. Okay. I don't have any more pictures, but I got more information that I had gained. When I was talking about the heart being directly a connection to, the hand, the right hand, being a direct connection to the heart. There was information that I had gained about that as well too. The heart hand connection. Energy flowing through the palms is directly connected to the heart chakra, symbolizing that the energy being transferred is a fundamentally rooted in love. Sometimes we do that. We tend to, even through transitions, we tend to touch those loved ones on their chest, with our hands, with the palms. Also that deals with the, a connection dealing with the heart, which is the love connection, just overall a connection to that loved one. Um, we said something about the hymns of symbolism, but it's also a creation and intention, okay, in many traditions, that this hand represents the power of creation and intention. The cosmic hands, okay, concepts highlights them as a vessel for spiritual evolution, balance, and harmony with the universe. Okay, baptizing. Okay, it's a form of balance, evolution, and harmony. Okay, through your universe, baby. Um, but this energy is giving and receiving through the hands, okay? Generally, the right hand associated with giving or sending energy, just like I said, it's the one that projects the most, okay? It's going to be the projection of your hand. This is why it's a powerful symbol dealing with the hamza, with the eye on it, okay? Because it's symbolic to the first eye, but it's also a projection of your reality, okay? All right. So it is a giving and sending energy, while that left hand is associated with receiving it. Okay. It takes from it. Okay. This is the hand, the thief hand. Okay. The thief hand. Okay. It takes. Okay. It receives. All right. Give me my money. Okay. Left hand. Okay. Um, but there has also been pictures and images dealing with that NASA's Hands of God is 12 too, which is also powerful and symbolic, dealing with the energy, formation of this electromagnetic cosmic hand, that they're, displaying and showing, that's supposed to be, in space. But it personally, it's just dealing with you. All right, it's just showing you in this formation, in this space of how it would look energetically. Um, um, let me make sure I ain't got nothing else, y'all. I said something about the hands. We just talked about the heart connection. Okay. So when I was talking about, this energy that I was, absorbing from my grandma, right? And how it was like a heavy, feel like, just a bunch of tension and numbness, in my hand. When I was looking up information to kind of, dive into the connection of what was transpiring, I found something talking about absorbing heavy energy. And it was basically talking about the transition as well. So this is one of the first things that I had gained when researching. And it says, when a person is transitioning, they are letting go of dense physical and karmic energy. All right. And karmic energy is not negative, just negative energy. Karmic energy can be very positive. It can be a revolutionary of energy evolving. Okay. It's not a bad thing, 100%. I mean, there's two sides, or, I don't know where I was even going, but it's not a bad thing. Okay. There's two sides to karmic energy. Um, okay, sis. Love you too. Sleep good too, girl. Okay, get your sleep in. 5:30 is early. But yeah, I will talk to you later. Catch the live later, sis. Thanks for coming. But yeah, sweet dreams, sis. Um, but yeah, y'all. So it was saying, a person that's transitioning, they are letting go of dense physical and karmic energy. As a caregiver, giving their hand, you may act as a conduit. Um, all right, a conduit. Oh, I can't see this. Absorbing some of this dark or heavy energy, which can manifest as a physical pain, aching, or tension in your own hands. So that's exactly what I was experiencing. All right. And I knew that it was something far beyond, of course, this physical experience that was transpiring, that I was feeling. And, just finding it just kind of confirmed everything that I was feeling. Okay, sis, you sleep well too. Sweet dreams. Y'all get rested up. I know it's Monday morning tomorrow, and y'all got to go to work. But I got these kids still at home. They ain't not going to school, y'all. They got e-learning. But I got to get up early too, so I ain't gonna be on here too much longer. But thank you for coming up here too, sis. I appreciate you. I appreciate all y'all for showing up on the live too. Yeah, a snow day for us. But yeah, I was, absorbing some of this dark and heavy energy, and it was manifesting in a physical pain, aching, and tension in my hands, y'all. So that's exactly what I was experiencing. So, I just was like, oh wow, all of this is everything that I'm realizing, what is going on. But I kind of felt it already, and I just wanted, to make sure, get some confirmation of what I was feeling. But this energy transfer is also a chai or a chi mana, and his hands are major outlets for energy. Touching a loved one during their transition can become a powerful involuntary act of energy transfer, similar to qi gong or healing touch, where your energy flows to them to support their journey. If this flow is unbalanced, or if you are not grounded, the intensity can cause pain in your hands. So what you think? Okay? Because I know that the flow was unbalanced, understanding and looking back at it now. Um, and it wasn't so far if I wasn't grounded, but I know my grandma wasn't grounded because she wasn't completely at peace of letting go. Okay? So it made this intensify so much, so high, so strong that it caused the pain in my hand. Okay? Okay? Also, hand pain that you experience, or just this connection through one that is transitioned, that most likely might be an elder, is interpreted in spiritual and metaphysical context as a physical manifestation, as an intense energetic exchange, compassion, fatigue, or a breaking of barriers between the physical and spiritual worlds. In many traditions, hands are considered antennas of the soul directly to the heart chakra and are the primary tools for expressing love, compassion, and energy transfer. Even with love, we touching on, having compassion in our relationships, through physical touch, intimacy, not just on physical, but on a spiritual level as well. Spiritually, I've been, you know, touched by one out of the flesh. Okay. So that energy still transpired through, the hands spiritually and physically. Okay. I do notice I don't want to shake too many hands. Girl, okay, I don't either. Not even just the fact that most people don't wash their hands, and most people, you don't know what the hell they be doing with their hands before they touch, want to shake your hand and shit. Um, yeah. And everything in this world, yeah, I don't be want to touch everybody's hand either. Like, even at my job, I don't. Even if I have to exchange, I automatically go wash my hands afterwards and I have to put something on because I just cannot. Like, you just don't know where their hands been. I mean, and that's just like just such in a same in alignment of you just don't know where their energy been. They just transporting and transferring energy from energy. No, like, got to have some hand sanitizer somewhere. I'm not doing it. Okay. it be too much, girl. You got to. I mean, shit. People be doing too much. And with the hand being a direct connection to your soul, your heart, your mind, that's just your complete three elements of dealing with yourself. And you got all this energy in your space. I don't need none of that. Okay? All right. But yeah, yeah. Lord, y'all, forgive my child. This what sugar does to you. All right, but the cosmic hand energy transfer to the spiritual practice of channeling universal life force. That's the point. It's channeling energy. It's channeling energy. This is why you could just somebody and you can channel their energy real deep. You could just channel their energy. Okay? Even if you come into somebody's space and you don't even touch them, you're channeling their energy because everything in there they have touched. Okay? So you can pick up on their vibrations. All right? And their energy and know when something's off. All right? There's so many different ways to tap into one's soul. Okay? Now that, I mean, of course we know the hand is one, but even through the eyes. Okay? So when we seeing people through transitions, or we just going through this motion of, in this motion, you know, of energy, and we're connecting, and through the cosmic hand. So we're connecting with so many different fragments of ourselves, basically, so many different energies. Okay. That even just looking through one's eyes, you can just tap right into them. We're all tethered together. So even without physical touch, you still can channel that person's energy, because we're already connected divinely. All right. It just intensifies when we touch them physically. All right. So you got to be careful with the power of the hand, and that connection that it has, especially even through these transitions of these elders. I know we want to hold them, we feel like we comforting them, and consoling them, and get one last touch, connection, and all of that. We want to do all of that when the touching, and even the rubbing of the forehead, and we want to do all of that. Be prepared for what you about to gain. Okay, with that, I said in water yesterday with salt and vinegar, releasing. Yes, you got to release it. You're going to have to release that energy, baby. Be careful what you about to gain, because you're going to have to release it. Or you just going to continue to be the vessel, all right, for that energy, that transferred energy. Then I saw your post on water. Girl. It just like that just came to me. Just I just spare a moment, like, damn. Just something so simple. You know. Definitely gotta release it. Or you just gonna continue to be the vessel of that energy that you just gained. Alright. And it can make your grief a lot harder. Okay? But the cosmic hand is very powerful. It's the one that the president uses through all his political views. All right. Most presidents are right-handed too. But just not just the right hand so much, just both hands have their ways of using the direct power, power, dealing with the hands, the releasing and the taking, or the giving. All right. And the releasing. All right. But yeah, that's everything I got. Because I can't see. I think it's something else is going on. Yeah, that's everything. Because I read everything. But yeah, let me know if y'all ever, experience something like that with your hands. Even if it wasn't a transition with somebody, it could just be you just laying hands on somebody. And all of a sudden you start to get this numbness and tension or some type of energy in your own body, from just touching somebody. Okay? Whether you just in their space, and you're not physically touching them, but you're just in their space because they physically have touched everything in that space. But just let me know. Have you been in spaces that have made you feel tensed up, sick, lightheaded, you know, just by a connection outside of your space? All right. And especially with these elders, a lot of them have a lot of old ways. So we got to be careful on how we use our hands as conduits, all right, or conductors, all right, when we're receiving or giving, releasing, all right, this energy. So just let me know for the ones who do check the video after. But I'm going to get up out of here, y'all. I just wanted to, drop them that experience and what I gained through that experience and understanding how powerful just touch really is. And even with the pastor just laying hands on you, that touch was just so powerful because it all goes back to be honest. It goes back to what your belief is. All right. When you're envisioning through the physical, the third eye, into the hamster eye or into the hand, all right, to become a physical touch. And however you interpret it visually, it becomes the intentions in your physical experience. So you got to be careful when you know, being connected in these spaces or with different people. All right. But yeah, y'all. Love you too, sis. I'm going to get up out of here. And as always, it's love, peace, and oneness. And I will be back pretty much soon, y'all. Yeah, I'll be back real soon. We'll see how it goes. But always, y'all, peace. I can't get out of here, y'all. Peace, peace.